Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Welcome to My World with Nat, Relocation Concierge. I hope you are having a fantastic day so far. I'm praying that it's not going to rain too hard behind me today because I'm really happy to have our friend Karen Williams join us today. She is joining me live all the way from Albania. She and her husband decided to move there with their children. Now, Karen is kind of like my second degree of separation. Her and my husband met in their working years at one of the local pubs near his office, and they became fast friends, close friends. And Karen, I think, really is the example of what relocating is all about, because she hasn't done it once. She's done it twice in 5 years. So Karen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi. Hi, everybody.
So it's been twice now that you've relocated your family. And the first time you were in country, it was within the country. And if I'm not mistaken, that shook the family up already, did it not?
That one, yes, it shook everybody up because we planned it within 2 days we left, or my husband left. I believe Ali was 15 months old and I was pregnant with my second child. I was 7 months pregnant with her. And on a Wednesday, we were just like, hey, what do you think about moving to BC? We were living in Quebec. And my husband brought it up to me. What do you think? And I was like, why not? Like, what have we got to lose? Yeah. And that was Wednesday evening. Friday morning, he got into the car and he drove across the country. And I drove. Yeah, he drove. Him and a friend, they drove across the country so we would have our car with us.
Okay.
Once we got to BC, and then I stayed behind in Montreal to. I sold everything we owned. It took me about a month. I sold everything, and then I left. I literally had my son, one suitcase, and that's it. Wow. And his car seat.
Well, safety first.
Right, but we left.
And what, like, else. The motivation behind it was just for a change.
Why not? Yeah, you only live once, right?
Why not? And that is such I think that's a loaded question for a lot of people. The why not? Yeah. And I know for us, when we decided to relocate, to go on our family adventure, a friend said to me, well, why are you doing this now? And granted, it wasn't a bit of the beginning of a kind of, what is that word I want to use? Tumultuous, like very kind of crazy time. And we sort of went with the why not as well, because what are we going to wait for? Because we could wait a lifetime to do things, right?
Yeah, but granted, a big thing for us was getting away from the winter.
Okay.
The winters in Quebec. So there was that, but other than that, it was the why not? Like, what are we waiting for? We're in Quebec, we were in Montreal, not overly happy, and winter was coming. Like, yeah. Dean moved August 3rd, and then I moved September 14th to BC.
Yeah.
So we were just like, we don't want to do another winter in Quebec.
Yeah.
So we went as far west as we could while still staying in Canada. Why not?
Where did you land in BC again?
We landed in Richmond.
Okay.
Richmond, BC, which is on the mainland. It's just like right next to Vancouver. And then from there, Zine got a job and we moved on to Vancouver Island, and we started in Comox. Then we went down to Port Alberni, and then we went down. Finally, our final destination where we lived the longest was in Victoria.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I love it there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful place. But we literally, like, my daughter, like I said, I was pregnant when I moved with her. She lived in, I think, 6 houses by the time she turned 1. Because we were just like, okay, we landed in Richmond, and then the job took us to Comox, and then the job took us to here. And then we were just like, again, why not? Like, it's all material stuff. Like, we just go till we get happy. And that was Victoria for us. Like, we got to Victoria and we were like, this is where we were like wanting to be, you know?
Yeah. And I think moving is a big milestone at any time, even if you're staying within country, within province, within state, whatever. It is a stressful thing to do. And
Oh yeah.
did you have was there any tools you used to sort of make it easy, or or were you like a stress ball the whole time?
When I moved, like the big move from
Yeah.
Montreal to Richmond,
Yeah.
it was good my husband wasn't there. Like he had already left.
Interesting.
Because I love him to death, but you
Yeah.
know how it, like, I don't know, we would get it, but then every move we did, like when we moved from Richmond to Comox, then Comox to Port Alberni, like all these little like
Yeah. Mini moves.
oh, the stress, like, can you just do this? You know, like the stress
Yeah.
fights between us.
Yeah.
Oh, but otherwise, I think I lost you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just did it. Like
Yeah.
there was no make lists. Like that was my
Lists are your saving grace.
yeah, the only
Yeah.
useful thing I did was like, okay, so we're moving. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'd start making sorry, my husband keeps calling there. So I'd start making lists and okay, don't pack this, pack that, get rid of this, you don't need that. Like
Yeah.
but otherwise I'm very much of the mind, just do it. Just it's gotta get done, just do it. Like
I love it. So you did, so I feel like that those moves in BC were like your practice moves, like your mini moves cut to sort of master what you were looking for. And, I'm in the middle of sort of rebranding my business and focusing on this whole idea of saying what you want, doing what you want, and going where you want. And I think they are concepts that we often don't really know we want or embrace, because we want a whole bunch of stuff, but we just don't know how to get there. And sometimes we're forced into situations, just because of world events. And now you've made a much bolder move. I mean,
oof.
I was bold and badass when I decided to come here, and that's what I was told by many people. And I have a pretty luxurious and luscious place that I'm living in, but you guys made a different choice, and in my opinion, a bigger move. I mean, we all move continents, but you really moved to another place.
We moved far. Give me 1 minute, sweetie. Go back upstairs, my love. Sorry. We this move, the hard part about it, what made it even crazier, we gave ourselves 2 weeks from the day we decided we're going to do it till the day we were gone. We had exactly, I think it was something like 16 days. And so that was like, I swear I was legitimately.
I think that's a record. That's a record in who people I've spoke to.
I was throwing up every day. Like I wasn't sick, just the nerves, because it was all happening so, and it was scary. It was scary. Yeah. But once the morning I woke up, the morning I was taking my flight to come here was the first morning I woke up and I was like, I'm good. This is good. Like the whole time I was nervous. Like I said, I was throwing up every day from my nerves, from my stress. But as I was doing this, I was like, this is what I want. Because my husband was like, are you okay? Like, we don't have to do, like, if this is, making you feel like this, we don't have to do it. I'm like, no, I want to. This is what I want. My body is just like, what are you doing? Like,
well, it's like you needed to align, maybe your body was trying to align with your soul that wanted to do this. That's a really like powerful image. I'm like, I got goosebumpies. But I mean, we did our move. I mean, there's kind of 2 dates, but if I think about like the January 1st, we decided, and April 1st, we left. And we sold our house, sold our items, packed up our personal belongings, storage, all the things that you have to do to get ready to go. It was like a 3 months, and people think that was quick. So I think, hats off to you. 16 days, pretty powerful.
We did it the Thanksgiving weekend. So October 11th or 12th. So yeah. I forget the exact. That was when we were like, okay, it's official. This is happening. Because as of October 1st, I remember sitting with my husband and we were making plans for staying in Canada. Like we were making plans for
Yeah.
okay, what do we do? Type of deal. And then October 11th or 12th, we're like, okay, that's it. It's happening. It's official. And then October 20th, because we had been living in Victoria, we went back to Montreal to say goodbye to all of like his family, my family. We stayed there for a week, and then we left October 28th is the day we took the flight to come to Albania. So from like October 12th to October 20th is how much time I had at my house to pack my suitcase, get rid of everything I owned, because we didn't put anything in storage. We didn't put anything, like each of us brought one suitcase. So we brought 4 suitcases and then one extra suitcase. Once we got to Montreal, I went shopping. So the one extra suitcase.
As you do.
But we right. But we the day we decided, I was like, okay, I went on Facebook. I put, we're having an in-house garage sale. Come by whenever you want. Doors are open. And people just came every day, all day. How much for this? How much for that? I'm like, take it, sold, whatever. By the day before we left, whatever we hadn't sold, garbage. Like it went to
the corner or
I put a bunch of stuff out on the front lawn for people to come and grab. But it was so quick.
And what did that feel like? Because I know for us, I've always been a bit of a thrifter and sort of getting rid of things as I didn't need them. What does that feel like? Because I know for some people saying I'm going to get rid or I'm going to sell my things is hard.
When I did the move from Montreal to BC, it was hard because that was like the first time I had done it, right?
Yeah.
I remember
it was your first home too, right? Like with Ali and
And there was again, I only brought one suitcase when I moved from to BC because he didn't get a suitcase, right? So, and I was like, I'm not paying for extra. Like he was only 18 or 15 months, so he didn't get a suitcase. So it was literally one suitcase for the 2 of us and for the baby inside of me because people bought clothes for her. And so I left. I remember I cried when I had to get rid of my books because I had like shelves and shelves of books, but I'm like, I can't bring those with me. Like it's too heavy, waste of space. I can get them wherever I'm going. Books are books, but it was hard and like going through like closets and pulling out like Christmas decorations. It's all like small stuff, but you're like, this is like my stuff. Like this is who I am, kind of like it, not that it defines me. That sounds very materialistic, but it's my stuff.
Well,
so it's a little weird.
We identify with those things. It's very, very normal. We have boxes of books in storage right now.
But then we got to BC and I swear it took like maybe a month and I had so much stuff again because you just accumulate stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had books. I went to like Value Village to thrift stores. I got my Harry Potter books back. I got, I got stuff. And then 5 years in BC, I had so much stuff again.
Yeah.
And then we had to get rid of everything. This time it wasn't so hard though, because the stuff that I had was only 5 years old. Like, and it was stuff that I had picked up at thrift stores and like, but
there was less attachment.
Yeah. But it was still hard. Like maybe 3 weeks before we made the move, I had messaged your husband and I was like, oh, I just got the complete Wheel of Time series, the books, like all 14 of the books. And I was talking with Rhett about all of that. And I was so excited to read all of those books, but guess what? Like those all got sold, right? It's stuff.
Yeah.
Like
it is stuff. Yeah. And I think that's probably an important lesson. I know that when we were sorting through Adele's things, I positioned, she's at an age that she could sort of make decisions on her own. So it's like, which ones do you really want to bring? Like, all her stuffy babies, which ones do you really want to bring with you? Which ones are we going to keep? And you could tell there was a struggle, like an internal struggle, but there was still an ability to let go and move on. And I think it's a good life lesson, life exercise, because I'm sure many people do define themselves by the things that they have or the things that they've built. And even, one of the conversations Rhett and I have had, and I've told the story before, he said, it seems so easy for you to let go of the house. So, we sold it in 3 days. And I said, yeah, because it's just a house. Our home is like where we are together and what we
Mhm.
do and what we put into it. So I didn't have any issue letting go of the house. So yeah, great life lesson. So you've landed in Albania now. How long was that
Yeah.
flight?
Oh, we did from Montreal to Vienna. It was 8 hours, 8.5
Okay.
hours. And then we did a 4 hour layover in Vienna, and then an hour and a half from Vienna to Albania.
Okay.
So it wasn't bad. The 8 hour flight with the two kids, but we also had my husband's sister
Okay.
moved at the same time as us, and she has her kids as well. So the flight wasn't so bad because it was an overnight flight, and like my son had his cousin who's the exact same age as him.
Okay.
Like so they hung out the whole like they hung out and watched a movie on the flight, and like I said, the kids slept like
Good.
around like let's say 10 o'clock at night because the flight was
Yeah.
at like 8 o'clock. I think our flight left.
Yeah.
So by like 10 o'clock they were
Everybody went to sleep.
yeah, and then they woke up, watched a movie, and then we landed. So it
That's
wasn't that bad.
perfect.
I didn't sleep. Yeah, it was great. I couldn't sleep because I can never sleep on planes.
Yeah.
And now I have my kids. I'm like, I don't want to fall asleep, and then Sakina
Yeah.
needs something. So I didn't sleep. So by the time we actually got to our Airbnb in Tirana, like in Albania, I was a
Done.
zombie. Yeah, oh yeah. But then
Okay.
jet lag hits and
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I remember those days going to Europe. Jet lag was like
oh,
brutal. So
brutal.
so you've already made one suggestion. So somebody decides that they want to, and a relocation, we said before we got on camera, it doesn't have to be a long-term thing. It
Oh,
may be something you want to do for 2 or 3 months. It's something that you want to try because you want to see what it would be like. So, the idea of having to give everything away, that is not everybody's
no.
jam. And I don't think, at any point do we suggest that, but the idea though of going on this adventure and giving new experiences to our kids is
Oh,
what fuels me and what fuels, my motivation in sharing these experiences with families to say it is possible, it is doable. So one of the things you said make lists.
that's my only like advice.
Yeah.
And go easy on your kids. Go
Go
easy
easy
on the
on your
kids.
kids. Yeah, give them
Yeah.
some leeway. I have a great checklist. So if anybody's looking for a checklist on what it would look like to depart, all the things you have to think about, reach out to me.
Mhm.
I'll put my contact info at the bottom of this video. What else do you think people should keep in mind? I would say give yourself compassion as well.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I was sick every single day. Like I'm not even exaggerating. I was sick every day, and that you do what you can. Like
Yeah,
I don't.
absolutely. Absolutely.
You do what you can, and
I had
don't
wine.
stress. Like what's that?
I
You
had
had
wine.
wine? Oh, I wish I had wine. I miss the days of wine.
Okay, so
Oh,
those are our takeaways. Make lists, be compassionate towards yourself, give your kids a little bit of leeway. And
always know
yeah,
that if it doesn't work out, you can go back. Like I
yeah,
don't know everyone who's watching this, if everyone is Canadian citizens, like
yeah,
I know but for me, if it doesn't work here in Albania, I'm forever a Canadian citizen. Tomorrow I can pack that suitcase, and in the day after tomorrow, I can be back in my parents' living room. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Back in my comfort, back in my.
yeah, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
this isn't the 1950s anymore. Like we're in 2021. You have FaceTime. You have all these
Oh my gosh,
tools.
yes, yes,
Like I talked to my parents. My dad has a cell phone, but my mom is still like landline only and everything. So not as technologically
yeah,
advanced. But I still talk to them every day. I'm like, look, we're going to talk every day. Maybe not every day, but you know what I mean? I FaceTime with them. It's
yeah.
not
Oh
like
no,
in the 1950s where you have to
it
send a
makes
letter and wait a month for it to
such
come back. And No.
Such a difference. I know, because when I traveled many years ago, it was only landlines and you use scratch, calling cards and things like that.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, I can ring them pretty much every day as well. And it makes such a difference. I think with things like social media, they get to see Adele growing up and all the milestones she's
Yeah.
hitting. So they're, yes, physically not seeing us, but they're still seeing what is going on. So thank goodness, let's be grateful for technology today.
Right? I love, like, same thing when I was before kids, I would go backpacking through Europe. I went to Asia and stuff. And like anytime I called my parents, you have to get a calling card and you have like, well, I was a broke backpacker. So I'm like, okay, we've got 5 minutes.
Make it quick.
Now we can, I'm alive. I'm good. Like,
yeah.
But now I can sit and talk to my parents or my sister or my sister-in-law. Like I can talk to anybody for hours. Like it's as if you're right next door. Like
exactly.
It's not as scary.
I am so grateful for your time. I know that you're a busy mom and you have people waiting on you. So I want to really, really heartfelt thank you for joining me today. Thank you for sharing your story. I think that you are an inspiration to many, and I can't wait to hear more about your adventures, how it's going. And okay. Thanks everybody thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can you will be notified when new videos come out. Whatever you choose to do today, have an incredible day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.